Okay, so we have a very helpful lesson to get into here. So we're constantly called to question and release our conclusions about who we are and about who our brother is. That is always the calling, the forgiveness of who we think we are and who we think our brother is, our sister. So today we are practicing, let me not bind your son with laws I made. Let me not bind your son with laws I made. It's lesson 277.
Your son is free, my father. Let me not imagine I have bound him with the laws I made to rule the body. He is not subject to any laws I made by which I try to make the body more secure. He is not changed by what is changeable. He is not slave to any laws of time. He is as you created him, because he knows no law except the law of love.
Let us not worship idols, nor believe in any law idolatry would make to hide the freedom of the Son of God. He is not bound except by his beliefs. Yet what he is far beyond his faith in slavery or freedom. He is free because he is his Father's son, and he cannot be bound unless God's truth can lie and God can will that he deceive himself. Our brother is free because he is his Father's son, and he cannot be bound unless God's truth can lie and God can will that he deceive himself. So he's telling us to release idols today. I think an idol is anything that we have instead of the presence of God. It would be to bind someone else to laws that are not true. Let me not bind your son with laws I made. That is the same as saying, let me not attack. Let me not defend. And I think to help us with this, I was guided to near the end of the course, chapter 31, part 6, recognizing the spirit. You see the flesh or recognize the spirit. There is no compromise between the two. If one is real, the other must be false. For what is real denies its opposite. And there is no choice in vision but this one. There is no choice, but either we recognize the spirit or see the flesh. What you decide in this determines all you see and think is real and hold as true. On this one choice does all your world depend, for here have you established what you are, as flesh or spirit in your own belief. If you choose flesh, you never will escape the body as your own reality, for you have chosen that you want it so. But choose the spirit, and all heaven bends to touch your eyes and bless your holy sight, that you may see the world of flesh no more, except to heal and comfort and to bless. Choose the spirit, and all heaven bends to touch your eyes and bless your holy sight. Salvation is undoing, If you choose to see the body, you behold a world of separation, unrelated things, and happenings that make no sense at all. This one appears and disappears in death. That one is doomed to suffering and loss. And no one is exactly as he was an instant previous, nor will he be the same as he is now an instant hence. Who could have trust where so much change is seen? For who is worthy if he be but dust? Salvation is undoing all of this. For constancy arises in the sight of those whose eyes salvation has released from looking at the cost of keeping guilt, because they chose to let it go instead. So this is the cost of keeping guilt, seeing all this separation and unrelated things. So the call is to release guilt. And first to see all the forms that guilt takes. And salvation doesn't ask that you don't behold the body. It doesn't ask that you behold the spirit and perceive the body not. It merely asks that this should be your choice. You're not ready to not see bodies. But he's saying it should be your choice to choose spirit. For you can see the body without help, but do not understand how to behold a world apart from it. You don't understand how to behold a world apart from the body. It is your world salvation will undo, and let you see another world your eyes could never find. Be not concerned how this could ever be. You don't understand how what you see arose to meet your sight. For if you did, it would be gone. The veil of ignorance is drawn across the evil and the good, and must be passed that both may disappear, so that perception finds no hiding place. I'll read that again. The veil of ignorance is drawn across the evil and the good, and must be passed that both may disappear, so that perception finds no hiding place. So he's saying here that perception can find a hiding place in looking at the good. How is this done? It is not done at all. What could there be within the universe that God created that must still be done? So this veil must be passed, that perception may disappear. And he's saying that is not even done. How can anything need to be done in God's creation? Only in arrogance could you conceive that you must make the way to heaven plain. The means are given you by which to see the world that will replace the one you made. Your will be done. In heaven as on earth, this is forever true. It matters not where you believe you are, nor what you think the truth about yourself must really be. It makes no difference what you look upon, nor what you choose to feel or think or wish. For God himself has said, your will be done, and it is done to you accordingly. You who believe that you can choose to see the Son of God as you would have him be, forget not that no concept of yourself will stand against the truth of what you are. Undoing truth would be impossible, but concepts are not difficult to change. One vision clearly seen that does not fit the picture as it was perceived before will change the world for eyes that learn to see because the concept of the self has changed. Are you invulnerable? Then the world is harmless in your sight. Do you forgive? Then is the world forgiving, for you have forgiven it its trespasses, and so it looks on you with eyes that see as yours. Are you a body? So is all the world perceived as treacherous and out to kill. Are you a spirit, deathless and without the promise of corruption and the stain of sin upon you? So the world is seen as stable, fully worthy of your trust, a happy place to rest in for a while, where nothing need be feared, but only loved. Who is unwelcome to the kind in heart? And what could hurt the truly innocent? Your will be done, you holy child of God. It does not matter if you think you are in earth or heaven. What your Father wills of you can never change. The truth in you remains as radiant as a star, as pure as light, as innocent as love itself. And you are worthy that your will be done. Recognizing the Spirit. It's from chapter 31, part 6. I think this will help us with the lesson today. We go within and release the fear or the doubt or differences in our perception. Take some time in meditation with this. And we can remember this message that it's our choice. Choose spirit rather than perceiving bodies. You don't have to figure out how. But we can choose to not run with the ego. So we can find this beautiful place within where we take all our thoughts, perceptions, fears, doubts. We bring it to this place within. Maybe it can be seen as a beautiful garden or some place you feel really safe. And in this place, just allow your fears to be brought. Perceptions. Whatever you have thought of others. We really give it over to Spirit. As we come out of this meditation, I want to talk about taking responsibility for our own minds. This is to release our brother. This is the way we can practice today's lesson. Instead of projecting, we actually take the stuff in our minds to this place, to this connected place in spirit. This is why all questions are answered in the silence, in the stillness. And we take it there. We don't project. If we try to resolve something interpersonally, there can usually be some projection happening, wanting to be right. Or giving others a role that they don't possess. This is how we release our brother from the laws we made. We don't act it out. And like I read, all it takes is willingness. You don't need to figure out how to not see bodies or the world. All you need is the wish to rather see the spirit. Wish to be run by spirit and not by the ego. This everyone has the power to make this decision. And does anyone have anything you'd like to lift up today for healing? Vanessa?
Yeah, yesterday we had this beautiful MMT session, and the talk was like dependency on God.
Yeah.
Dependency on God, and we saw the scene like San Francis when he just took his clothes and he just surrendered to God in front of everyone. And yeah, this was so powerful to me, like, and yeah, and Matthew even said like it doesn't have to look like this, when we doesn't have to look like in the same way, but we can do this. We are capable to do this in our heart, to give it over, to just surrender to God. And I felt it was so strong to me. And when I went to sleep, I had a dream, and in this dream, like, there was a guy, an old guy, and then me and Jonas, we had the idea that we need money, and then this guy could give us money if Jonas have sex with him. And then this guy lay down on the table, and Jonas started to have sex with him. And Jonas seems like was in control, like was, okay, I know what I'm doing. But he started to become yellow. He stopped to breathe. And then I said to him, you need to stop it. And when I woke up, this feeling of sacrifice and figure out, or this feeling of effort, it was in my mind. Like, I don't understand the symbols of dreams, but this feeling like, oh my God, this belief, like, I want to let go, this belief, like, we need to make efforts, we need to control, we need to figure out. It's so heavy, like, and yeah, I have some guilt in my mind because yesterday someone sent me a message, like, offering me a job, like, do you want to come and take care of our dogs, another person? And the first thought that came to my mind is still about money. Like, I can have money, then I can help Jonas. And then I stepped back, and then I said, okay, Holy Spirit, I want to give to you all this thought about money, just help me to see what is really helpful. And then I said, okay, I'm going to share with Jonas, and then what he says is going to be the answer, if I should go or not. And then he said, no, I would like you to stay with me. You're going to come back from Spain, then we can spend time together anyway. But I can, it's just stuff, this idea in my mind, like, if I surrender, if I give over all my concerns to God, like, it's gonna be difficult life. How is that possible? It's so crazy because God loves me so much, like, loves us so much. How can He not take care of me? Like, how can it be possible? Even everything I need to wake up, everything I need to really to go home, He's gonna give to me, and when I think about this, it's really making me happy. And so and just would like to share it and say thank you, God. I know you take care of me with so much love. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Vanessa. That's it. The responsibility is, only this connection with God, this trust, letting go of your worries.
Yeah.
Not the world of form. The world of form is not your responsibility. The figuring out how. Oh, very beautiful to share this process.
Thank you so much.
I love that. Thank you, God. I know you take care of me.
Yeah.
That's the place to live. It's the place to keep our mind in.
Yeah, I know you love me so much, God.
Solveig?
Morning.
Morning.
I want to put some thoughts here on the altar, and I think ever since I shared Monday evening, a lot of been more and more clear to me the pattern that's happening, and I had this. I feel inspired to go and ring on my daughter's door again, and then I can see that then somehow my thoughts go to, okay, what's happened if she actually is there? And then all these kind of, oh, what am I going to say? What is he going to be, trying to figure out how to handle it. And then it gets so heavy again. So I would just really love to give all these, like, what's going to happen. Like, yeah, I don't need to know. I would really love to give that over, that fear of, and I can see it's every time it gets heavy, it's when I try to either put something out on a timeline or on a yeah, even play it out in my mind, like, okay, then what's gonna happen? What would be the best thing to say? What would, oh, it's such a, it's such a habit and pattern, and it's been really, really clear. So yeah, and I can see that I get really angry with myself when it happens again, but it's like I would like to just put it out there and say, like, yeah, it feels a little like it takes time to stop a super tanker or turn it around. It's like, it's okay, it's happening, it's okay. I can just give it over every time.
Yeah, this is the idolatry, we talk about idolatry there, and that's, when you're preoccupied with having a person in your mind all the time, that is, kind of bind down the loss you made. You have these images, people, and that's what is called for, to give up, open your hand, don't hold on to that. Give that to spirit. Give that person to spirit.
Yeah, it's funny, when I wrote today's lesson this morning, this what is an idol came to my mind, so I actually looked that up and read that too, because I could see, yeah, this is about it, yeah.
Mm.
And it's I'm imprisoning everyone.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And I can see I just need to do that every moment. So easy to be caught up for me in these. But it's just instantly I feel heavy, I feel tired, I feel this. Yeah. At least I know then that I've done that.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
That is what he says, the right use of judgment is how you feel. So you don't feel great. You know you have done that. You have made someone into an idol.
Yeah, and then there's the urge actually to hide it again. But really be honest with myself. No, it's okay. I've done it again. It's okay. So it's not a sin. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to hide from God anymore.
No. Be your mind and the rest will follow. Like the song.
Yeah, thanks. It's such a contrast between the joy of inspiration and this total heaviness that just comes in. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Go to Peter next.
Feeling fear. You're wanting to talk about a cycle of sense of injustice. When I look at what I perceive as injustice, I just see like a angry energy, resistant, and then even if I calm myself with that, then up comes all my explanations, defenses, blah, 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 all that comes up. And if I don't see that, then I get caught in that and I just swing off into that.
Mm-hmm.
And that can go on for hours. And there was a situation here last night, and definitely I had some anger and I did blame in reaction to what I perceive as, I guess, an injustice. Feeling controlled is what's come up more. And all of it feels very similar to how it was with Solvay first time round, but it's a bit deeper now. And underneath this, I feel a lot of shame, upset, guilt. And I think I get a bit hopeless as well. And particularly I go into a lot of doubt when, with Kaim, but also with Solvay in the past, when we would have a difficult time, I would experience her not as sharing about what was going on for her. And that left me, in time I would go into tremendous doubt. It wasn't that I needed to have a conversation. I just needed to hear that she was, that something was happening, that otherwise it would just go on. And that is oh.
Yeah,
Something about all that.
I think this is how, relationships are for healing. relationships are pervaded. It can be that there's a deep invitation in you for her to share what's going on for her, and maybe she has in her pattern there may be a difficulty in putting words on what's going on for her. Can be so. There's a complementary ego dynamic in a way that is shown, but also there is an invitation that is very deep for you to practice. That you're not unfairly treated. And I think that runs deep for you, this belief that you're unfairly treated. Jesus says this: you have no enemy except yourself. And you are enemy indeed to him, to your brother, because you do not know him as yourself. What could be more unjust than that he be deprived of what he is, denied the right to be himself, and asked to sacrifice his father's love and yours as not his due? Beware of the temptation to perceive yourself unfairly treated. In this view, you seek to find an innocence that is not theirs but yours alone, and at the cost of someone else's guilt. Can innocence be purchased by giving of your guilt to someone else? This is from the end of Injustice. So when you talk about injustice, this is what comes to mind. And I think this is exactly it.
That feels true. The feeling unfairly treated.
Mm-hmm. We call that a temptation.
Yeah. In my defense, I don't want the person to say, I'm not treating you badly. It's just I want them to just explore their own side. That's and then I feel okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm dependent on that. And if I don't have any sort of recognition, then I go into a lot of doubt, and then I start exploring my own minds for all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
that doesn't feel helpful either.
No. But to see that, yeah, I think that's a genuine invitation for her to explore her mind. That's beautiful, and to be open with what's going on. And
I mean, sorry.
But yeah, to be patient then with somebody who isn't ready, perhaps. And then to see what it brings up in you. Takes time, take time with God, take time with Spirit.
Yeah.
Because I think you're aware of how it can be with the mind. Like there are places you're not conscious of, or hurts or wounds or traumas that happened when you were too little, too young to have words to describe it.
So, yeah, what's coming up then when you said that? It's just like, yeah, but I don't want to be hurt again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is a story that is going around in your mind. You believe that you can be hurt again.
I don't even know what that hurt is, really.
Right. because it's not.
But when I feel blame, that's when it triggers, it seems to trigger it, I think. When I perceive I'm being blamed. When I, yeah. And that, with Solveig now, actually, she does share a lot. And it feels, I mean, I feel so much gratitude, or a relief, certainly, but a gratitude, because it feels, I can feel like I don't have to feel on the defense the whole time.
Yeah. So this is the, this part of the story is, I don't want to be blamed. That you could be at the mercy of someone else's state of mind, or someone else's inability to share, or someone else's opinion of you. These are the things you can question.
Yeah, no, I get that. I've been aware of that, but it hasn't become much easier. So it's got a bit more to it now. I'm angrier, and I just still feel I'm struggling to get underneath that in the moment. And it feels like this anger has to come up, but it's not helpful just acting it out. And I don't know that I particularly seeing more and understanding of what it is that I'm frightened of. I mean, I can imagine, but I need to know that now, really, because
even let me take a stand against my anger, that my fear may disappear. Maybe there is no cause for anger in a situation. The fear that you're not heard or seen, or the fear that you're going to be unfairly treated, these are the demons that you're facing, or these are the old stories that you're releasing, because the anger is as a result of the concluding that you're right about this. You would be angry if you were right about this situation, that you could be unfairly treated.
Yeah, that feels true. That I think that I believe that. In deep down, I believe that. I have been and being unfairly treated.
Yeah, and as long as you have that belief, you will perceive that. As long as you can be unfairly treated, you will perceive that you are.
Yeah. And yet it feels like I have to see through all the unworthiness. I have to see through it all before I can let that go. And that just feels like an enormous task.
Yeah, but it's not really in the moment. It's just in the moment when the situation is happening. That's when you need to be willing to release the unworthiness and definitely the temptation to be unfairly treated. You see the temptation over and over again when it comes in. Question it in your mind, because true strength is peace, True strength cannot be threatened by other people, for sure.
I understand what you're saying. I understand the significance of what you said about seeing myself as holy and the other as holy or innocent. I think I doubt that I can do this. I can't seem to be able to do it.
Well, we don't doubt you, Peter.
Yeah, and you can't see a projection as holy. Just want to say that too.
Now I'm confused. Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes I can see that that I'm holy. Sometimes I can see it's a projection, not usually straight away. But it feels like a deeper place here. But maybe there isn't anything there. But it's like can't understand why it feels so constant.
Yeah, I think this is this threat, this feeling of threat, that you're threatened by what other people do or think or say.
Yeah.
That is a common feeling for you, and I think to work with that, to release the idea that you can be at the mercy of an unfair environment surrounding.
Yeah.
It's the unfair environment.
Yeah.
Unfair. Be in the mercy of it.
Yeah, I said the idea that one can be at the mercy of an unfair situation. That you can be threatened by what someone else is doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying. It just feels so fucking painful. That's what comes up.
Yeah, and forgiveness sees that what you thought your brother did to you, it's never done. It doesn't pardon real sins. It doesn't perceive something as real, and then you have to forgive it.
Okay, well, I'm still seeing something deep down is real. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, so you can just allow yourself to practice with your willingness. I'm willing to see this differently. Let the Holy Spirit work with that. Love you, Peter.
Thanks.
Yeah. And last share, Christian.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
I make it short. There was so much in that session, so much. It hits really. I don't know how to explain. There's so much. What I want to say is this decision between spirit and ego, that I can have both. It came so clear that I switch always between these two things. And like Peter said, I have always the feeling there must be some magic moment, and boom, all the ego world disappears and I'm in paradise. I'm waiting for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
It makes boom and every problem is solved, That's I think that's inside. And I'm waiting for it, and it don't come. that way.
Yeah,
And-
it's a very conscious journey.
Yes, and what you said, that it's a moment to moment decision and willingness, a moment to moment, not that all disappears and I'm, so to say, everything is solved, but the way is to see it in every moment and to be
Yeah.
willing to decide in every moment when
Yeah.
it's recognized.
Yeah,
That what came clear even. And one small other thing, I found a small part in the course, and that hits me really. It was the only problem you have is that you think your God's will is not your will.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the belief. That's
True. I have the feeling still, it stands against each other. It's the point of really, it's all, I'm always telling the same things. It's yeah, want to take this leap and fear it. And yeah, mix these two together. And that's not helpful. That's, yeah, that's what's up in this whole session.
yeah, what came up to share when you talked about the first thing about the paradise is going to come as a boom in the future. You know, Jesus has said to us many times in many ways, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Hmm.
The kingdom of heaven is within you. Heaven, you know, maybe we should call it something else in heaven because it's such an old Christian idea, or paradise, but the state of serenity and peace, of everlasting peace, is at hand. It is so close, and it is a state of mind. It is not a future condition. It's not a future place. That it is a state of mind. And I think, yeah, the mind has been lost in ideas of it's a future thing, or maybe a lot of people think it's going to happen when you die, go to heaven when you die.
Yeah.
You know, it's an illusion. We are indoctrinated by the ego to believe that.
Yeah.
But that's not it. It's like you said, it is a moment-to-moment decision. Do I listen to the voice of spirit or the voice of the ego? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that belief that God's will is different than my own. That's a problem. And I think that's a key, a core idea to look at.
Yeah.
Like, how could I possibly believe that, you know? And then you come back into the open mind.
In a kind of way, I think that is true. It's my will. If it's the ego will, this contracted,
Of course. And
then it's not.
That's
his-
not. And that should be easy to recognize. Just by checking in, how do I feel? Well, if I don't feel so good, if I feel contracted, then I have chosen the little ego will. Will.
Yeah.
So then
That is so.
then the answer is just to change our mind, just to say, oh, I'm willing. I'm open to see this differently. I'm open to choose the will of God, to be one with. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you all for joining in. Beautiful session. Take care.
Yeah, see you soon.